best job ever, right? Well, mostly. Welcome to a day in my life where we go from pure, sleepy baby goat bliss to figuring out why an automated feeder system just blew a fuse. It's a weird mix, I know. Stick around, and I'll show you how Snuggles and systems engineering somehow come together to make this whole farm work. Okay, so the first hour of my day is pretty much exactly what you're picturing. It's the part that gets all the Instagram likes for sure. But these morning snuggles, they're actually one of the most important jobs on the farm. This isn't just about me getting my daily dose of cute. It's about socialization and a really critical health check. See, goats that are handled gently from day one are way calmer and easier to manage when they're older. That means less stress for them during vet exams or hoof trims. So really, this cuddle time is a huge investment. More than that though, it's my first chance to play detective. I check out each kid one by one. This little guy right here is Pip. While I'm snuggling him, I'm not just soaking up the cuteness. I'm checking his energy levels. Is he bright and alert? I'm feeling his coat, his belly. I'm on the lookout for any signs of common baby goat problems like scours, which is basically goat diarrhea and can be really dangerous for them. Pip, though, he's looking fantastic, full of pep and ready for some breakfast. For some of the kids, especially if their mom has her hands or hooves full, the morning starts with a bottle. And it's not as simple as just pouring some milk. The milk replacer has to be mixed perfectly and heated to just the right temperature. Pretty much just like formula for a human baby. If you get it wrong, you can cause some serious digestive issues. So even this small task is a vital little piece of the puzzle. All right, with the quiet wellness checks done, it's time for chaos. Feeding the whole herd is what I like to call organized mayhem. Seriously, they start getting excited the second they even see me reach for the feed buckets. And nope, it's not one size fits all around here. Every single group has its own custom meal plan. Our milking moms, the does, get a high-protein grain and rich alfalfa to help with their milk production. The bucks, the boys, have their own balanced diet to stay healthy and strong. Get access to something called creep feed. It's a special starter grain in an area that only they can fit into, so they can eat without the bigger goats hogging all the food. My job here isn't just to deliver the food, though. I'm an observer. I watch everyone. Who's rushing to the trough? Who's hanging back? A goat that doesn't want to eat is often the first sign that something's off. You get to know their personalities, who the pushy ones are, who's a little more shy. And any change in that routine is a huge red flag. So yeah, you're not just a chef in this job. You're a behavioral analyst. Once the snuggles are done and everyone's got a full belly, it's time for the other part of the job. The part they leave out of the job title. I'm not just a goat snuggler. I'm a farmer. And that means I'm also a plumber, an electrician, a mechanic, and today, a systems engineer. Our biggest project at the moment is completely redesigning our milk parlor. The milking process is the absolute heart of our dairy. Honestly, our current setup just isn't cutting it. It creates little traffic jams, which stresses the goats out, and the whole thing takes way longer than it should. So I've been designing a new one. The goal is a smooth flow, where the goats can move in a calm, predictable loop from their pen to the milking stand and back again. No stress involved. The first piece of that puzzle is the stanchion, and we give them a little grain as a treat, so they start to see the milking stand as a good place to be. The next big challenge is sanitation. A milking parlor isn't really a barn. You have to think of it as a food-grade production facility. That means everything has to be scrubbable. And finally, the cold chain. That's a term from logistics, but it's critical here. Milk comes out of the goat at about 101 degrees Fahrenheit. To keep it fresh and stop bacteria from growing, we have to chill it below 40 degrees, and we have to do it fast. Our new design has a direct line from the milker through a filter and right into a cooling tank. It's a closed system built for speed and safety. So if you want to follow along and see if we can actually pull this new parlor design off, and see more of Pip and the rest of the herd, of course, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It really helps the farm out and guarantees you won't miss an update. First up, I get my supplies. A spotless stainless steel pail, clean rags, and a special little tool called a strip cup. I'll bring the first dough Daisy onto the stand and get her settled. Now, the most critical step happens before a single drop of milk goes into the pail: cleaning the udder. I use a warm water solution and a fresh, clean rag for each goat to wash her udder and teats. Then I use the strip cup. I milk the first few squirts into this cup so I can check for any signs of mastitis, which is an udder infection. You'd see little clots or strings, but Daisy's milk looks perfect. Once I know the milk is good to go, I start milking. After she's all done, there's one last crucial step for her health: an iodine teat dip. This puts a protective barrier over the teat opening to keep any nasty bacteria from getting in. From there, the milk's journey begins. It's immediately poured through a fine mesh filter and then goes straight into the chiller. And finally, we get to what I think is the most important job of the day: sanitation. Every single piece of equipment that touched the milk, the pail, the filter, all of it, gets taken apart, scrubbed, sanitized, and left to air dry. Clean bedding is key for herd health. It helps prevent hoof problems and respiratory issues. The best part of the afternoon is playtime. We let the kids out into a safe, grassy pasture where they can just be goats. They run, they jump, they practice headbutting each other. Honestly, watching them leap around with such pure joy is the perfect way to recharge after a long day of physical labor and technical headaches. It reminds you exactly why you do all this. So, is professional baby goat snuggler a real job? Yeah, it is, but it's more than a job. It's the reward. It's the why. It's these quiet moments at the end of a long day of logistics and nutrition science and mechanical engineering. For their health and their happiness, the snuggles aren't the job. Speaking of which, next week, we are finally starting construction on the new milking parlor. You are not going to want to miss the chaos that I guarantee will happen. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. In the meantime, you can check out this other video we did on how we named all our new kids. Thanks for spending the day with me.